and to tell you, as always, it's a pleasure to be spending the Thursday evening with you. We are always happy to be doing this and to see all your smiling faces, some serious faces, and some faces we can't see. But you're welcome. Whatever you have been doing, I want to invite you to relax, at least for my half hour, the first half of a training before we go to the serious stuff with Pascal. Just take a good deep breath and then let your breath out. We know that month end is around the corner and sometimes we start to get a bit agitated. I think trust in the effort that you have been putting and also trust in the fact that what you are doing is making a positive difference in very many people's lives. So this evening, my plan was to speak with you about joint health. This is a topic we've had before, but I think that every now and then we go back to some of these topics because we have new people coming in, and also every now and then we maybe benefit from a reminder. So just as I said before in a previous session, we have evolved as creatures who move. Movement is supposed to be part of our lives. And our bodies are built in such a way that we should be able to spend the majority of our waking hours moving. Think about our ancestors. They were hunter-gatherers. They had to spend the whole day, maybe from morning till afternoon, walking and looking for food. Maybe they would find some berries here. Maybe they would find some animals to hunt and so on. So that we evolved to move for long periods of time. And for us to move, of course, is our joints. And towards the health of our joints. Another for us to move. Sometimes because we see as we grow old, that are supposed to be refreshed by our movement so that they work properly throughout our lives. But there are a few things that can maybe cause some problems in our joints, and we'll come to them just now. So before I go to that, I just want to mention that one of the most dangerous things, and I think Pascal has also mentioned it to you, sitting down. The way in which we have learned to sit down for long hours is because of the many years of school that we have. The good children in school are considered to be the ones who sit quietly and listen, isn't it? If you have a restless child who wants to get up and move around, the teacher gets very cross and they're always getting in trouble. And so we learn from early childhood when we start school that it is a good thing to sit in our chair quietly until we are allowed to stand up, maybe during break or during lunch. So we carry that on into our adult life. When we go to work, we sit at our desk or at our table or wherever sedentary work we have the whole day, and we only maybe get up for during lunchtime or when it is necessary. But it is becoming, research is showing that this is the most dangerous habit to our health today because we have not evolved to sit long periods, and quite a number of our health problems can be life. That is a life in which you spend long periods sitting down. So you can get up and sit down again. Just remember that a lot. So another thing is sometimes when we speak about movement, we think kind of sports or exercise. It's possible for some, but not automatic. If that is possible for you, well and good. But if it is not, I think an even better plan is to try to incorporate movement in your day, normal movement that you can do without requiring a gym and so on. So you can see how you can incorporate walking in your life. There are those of us, of course, many parts of Africa, we still walk to work and walk to our transport and so on. So that is maybe we drive or we take Ubers and so on to find periods in which we can walk. So even if we have formal exercise, having more activity built into our lives is even better. So sometimes if it's possible, like for example, I was trained as a teacher, we used to standing and walking about in the teaching profession. I don't know if that is still the case because it's many years since I've taught in the classroom, but I think I've noticed that teachers often now sit at their desk and teach from sitting down. And there are many professions where movement is incorporated. If you're in those ones, it's good, but if your work is sedentary or your clients, it's good to tell them to try and incorporate movement in their regular lives. So what are the benefits that we can associate with having an active life, a life in which there is plenty of movement? The first thing, there are many of them, I'll just mention a few. Gentle exercise after a meal is very good because it aids digestion, and also to some degree it reduces the amount of the food that we are eating that will be deposited as fat. So that is why, for instance, it's not good to eat late at night, because if, let's say, you eat a big ugali with fish and vegetables at 10:30, then you go to bed, all that will be digested, and since you are not going anywhere, you are sleeping, a lot of it is going to be stored as fat, because our body is very efficient. It knows, if I have got all this food and I don't need it for any work, I'm going to store it for a rainy day. And of course, the next morning we wake up, we have breakfast, it's not yet a rainy day, and our body keeps on storing and storing. So if it's possible at all in your lifestyle to eat a bit earlier in the day when you can still be active, maybe you can move around doing things in the house after supper. That way, you don't go to bed with a heavy meal in your body, which is going to be converted into large amounts of fat. Of course, as we are moving towards the holidays, maybe some of us, it would be possible to eat early in the day and maybe go for a walk in the evening, so that way we benefit from the amount of the joint be more mobile so that it can.
Sorry, Pascal, please check your connection. I think we have a challenge with voice.
Can you hear?
Can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you, but at some point it's breaking. I thought I'm the only person who is getting that, but I can see a lot of leaders have texted me. It's breaking at some point.
I wonder, it could be because I think there's a storm brewing on this side, so it might be interfering with our connection.
Okay.
Yeah, but I hope that it's resolved now and we'll be able to go on. So I hope you can hear now. Is it fine? Okay, good. So let us keep going. So I was saying that movement is good for our joint itself because that is how it maintains lubrication. And so even when a joint is injured or painful, you notice that is why you are sent for physiotherapy, because movement is part of what helps the joint to heal. And of course, it's what maintains our flexibility. So we should we benefit from our joints by moving. Then another thing that happens when we are maybe exercising vigorously or walking vigorously is we start sweating. And this is good for us because it's one of the ways in which the body gets rid of toxins and waste. At the same time, it's good for our skin itself because the blood flows close to the skin and refreshes it. So that is another benefit, that our skin is going to benefit and we are going to get rid of toxins as a result of exercise. Then the other thing about it is that circulation that comes as a result of moving also benefits our brains, which then get a good vigorous supply of fresh blood and fresh circulation, which takes away toxins and waste from activity. And so we maintain a good environment for our brain also. And then lastly, for those of us maybe who are interested in weight reduction, movement is very important. Having an active life is important. It's not to say that we can eat whatever we want and then exercise and we lose weight. No, a good healthy diet is crucial for weight loss. Is 80% of weight management is in the food. But in the other 20%, activity and having an active lifestyle plays an important role. I think we'll have maybe next week, the topic we'll have is, will be some pointers on weight management. But for now, just to mention that movement is an important way of maintaining a good metabolism so that our body knows how to apportion the food that we eat. So some goes to energy, some goes to storage, but we don't store up everything and thereby put on weight. Then turning our attention to what does Neolife supply us in order to maintain our joint health. So of course, the first thing is Neolife Shake or NutriShake, which is our protein drink that makes sure it provides us with the amino acids and minerals that we require for repair, self-repair and repairing our joints included. And of course, our muscles, because the joints are moved by muscles. So NutriShake plays an important role. Then second is omega-3 salmon oil, which helps in healing and reducing inflammation and swelling of the joints. So it's important for that. And so for people with, let's say, arthritis and such joint problems, we have omega-3 salmon oil as a very useful supplement to have. Then the other one, the minerals, it can either be multimineral alfalfa or it can be CalMag. Both of these play an important role in building of bones as well as building of blood. And so that is the other product we can recommend for joint health. Then the fourth one is full motion, which plays an important role in repairing the damage done to joints over time or through injury. So it helps the body to repair and rebuild the cartilage, which is the soft, it is the smooth, slippery material that is on in our joints. It's on the heads of bones. And sometimes maybe if we have an accident or an injury, what might happen is that the joint might be misaligned, leading to the cartilage in it being ground up and getting damaged. So full motion has an important role to play in giving the body what it needs to repair and rebuild the cartilage over time. Then the final product I'm going to mention is vitamin B complex, which facilitates energy production as well as helps us in blood production and in the upliftment of our moods. Because when we are in a sad or low mood, we might not be in the mood to move around, and so we tend to sit and mope around. But vitamin B is quite useful in providing energy as well as in uplifting our moods. Okay, then I think now I'll go to some of the questions that I got from last week and this week. The first one came about from a gentleman who has got a low libido, a low sex drive. And just to mention that there are some things that can lower the sex drive. One of them could be substance abuse. So some of the lifestyle things to look at is things like alcohol, things like cannabis, and a number of others can lead to reduction in the sex drive. At the same time, also, there can be a problem with stress, which is unresolved. This can reduce the sex drive. And certain medications also, prescription medication, can also lower the sex drive. So if you have a client who is undergoing this problem, maybe they can check with their doctor and also check their own lifestyle, what could be causing it. And in addition, you will recommend for them herbal masculine complex, zinc, and NutriShake should be able to help from the Neolife side. Then someone else, also one of our distributors, wanted to know about the products that they can recommend for detox. And here again, Neolife comes to help us with detoxing. And one product is BetaGuard, which is very important for detox. We know that BetaGuard is one of the products that was developed by Dr. Arthur Fast, the founder of our scientific advisory board. And it's an excellent product with a lot of research that has gone into it. So that's one of our detox products. And then the other one is stage 6, which helps in making sure that we eliminate digestive waste from our bodies. And the next one is garlic allium complex, which is also important for detoxing and removal of parasites from our system and our digestive system, I should add. And then for those who have it in their market, acidophilus is also important for helping us to grow friendly bacteria, which play an important role in helping us to detox. Okay, so those are the ones: BetaGuard, stage 6, garlic allium, and acidophilus. I think if acidophilus is missing, you could also add multimineral, not because it's going to replace acidophilus, but because it also has got an important role to help in detoxing, especially on the side of the kidney. Then the third question was about heartburn and the high acidity in the digestive system. So here we recommend zinc, calmag, and acidophilus, as well as aloe vera plus to drink. So those are the products we recommend. At the same time, some suggestions. If you have a tendency towards heartburn, that thing I said of don't eat late in the day and then go to sleep, because once you lie horizontally, then chances of the acid flowing back and regurgitating can be quite high. So it's better to eat not a large meal and eat it earlier in the day before it's time for you to go and lie down to rest. It should also, to some degree, help to reduce the acidity. And also you can look at the trigger foods that can be bringing about the high acidity. Certain foods like fried fast food can be very triggering for high acidity. And different people may find that different things trigger the acidity. So it's good to also take a look at what in your lifestyle could be contributing to the problem. Then, or in the case of your customer. Then the next question was about irregular periods in a young woman. And here we recommend herbal feminine complex to help to regulate the hormones so that the hormones are in balance. And we also recommend ProVitality because it is a broad spectrum. It has got things like Tri-N, which is going to help the body at a cellular level. And so ProVitality would be the other products. The other product for someone with irregular periods. They can also possibly see a doctor just in case there is an underlying cause that is causing them to have irregular periods. Then just to mention there, irregular periods can also result from very low body weight as well as excessive exercise. So exercise is good, but we can't overdo it. So maybe that's just a lifestyle thing to check for. Then the other question was about dementia. This one, I think I said that we've had this question before, and it's a very difficult condition to reverse. There is a great difficulty there, but we can recommend mind enhancement, ProVitality, and for some people also botanical balance, because it's research is showing that a certain kind of diabetes can be at the root of dementia. So botanical balance, especially if the person has pre-diabetes or is diabetic, then we can add botanical balance to the mind enhancement and to pro-vitality. Gentle exercise is good for people with dementia, and also gentle conversation, even though it might be difficult to converse with the person because of their mental situation. They benefit from conversation as well as gentle exercise. And then finally, the last question was about aching feet. And this is another one we've had before. So for it, we recommend omega-3 salmon oil, TRINN, and multimineral. And of course, elevating the feet. When one is sitting, maybe at the end of the day, one can put up the feet to help the blood to flow back away from the feet. And in addition to that, maybe to have a cool foot bath just to help the feet to be less sore. Okay, I think my time has run out. I just want to wish you a very good week and a good month end. And since I see I've got some 2 minutes, I just wanted to share with you that today I was thinking about the many years we've been in the business. Our children have grown up in the business. When we started, they were still very young. But I found myself giving thanks that we shared with them many of the struggles of starting the business, because the struggle of having shortage of money, having small children to look after, having a chronic illness, there were a number of challenges. But I'm grateful that Neolife made it possible for us to give them some very enjoyable holidays. And I was remembering once when we went for one of the Neolife events, was at Sun City, not far from us here. And when we I don't know if maybe Pascal has told you this story, sometimes we might repeat ourselves. But the funny thing is, when we entered the hotel, it was at the Palace of the Lost City. It was a very posh room, and the TV switched on, and it announced, "Welcome to the Lord children." And they were so excited. One boy turned to me and said, "Mommy, they know us here." We found it so very funny. And when they went into that nice room, they were saying, "Wow, this is the life." And so, well, now they are much older, so they are more restrained in their comments. But I remember some of the reactions they had to our life in Neolife, and many of them are very funny stories that we have enjoyed very much. And that is just to encourage you. Maybe you're having a bit of a struggle, or maybe things are not going your way, or maybe they are going your way. That this business is a very good thing to give to yourself as well as to your family. For myself, it has made it possible for me to be a full-time mom. As most of you will know, maybe not all of you, we've got a son who has got sickle cell anemia, and it has been possible for me to be available to him as often as it was needed. And on top of that, it has given us the finances to make it possible that any treatment that he might need would not be prevented by the lack of funds. So for that reason, if you are maybe the parents of a young family, do not give up, keep on working hard. It's very nice to have money to spend on your children when they are still young, because they appreciate it much more. And as they grow up close to you and seeing what you do on your day-to-day life, they really see that it is possible to manage your own affairs, and they see how you deal with troubles and difficulties, and it benefits them as they grow up in their own lives. So I think now I've used up all my time, so let me hand you over to Pascal and wish you an excellent month end, and see you again on Thursday. I hope that the session has been beneficial to you and will contribute to your business in a positive way. Thank you very much. Here is Pascal now.
Thank you very much, Betty. In fact, Betty has reminded me, yesterday a neighbor was passing next to our gate, and the neighbor has a young boy who is 11 years old. So he saw a goalpost that somebody made for us with a full net. So she stopped and asked us, "Where did you make this goalpost?" Then we explained. Then she asked him, "Do you want to sell it to me?" And Betty said, "No, we don't want to sell it to you. Can we come in and play football? My son wants to play football." So it reminded me of those many days that because we have 4 sons, we played a lot of football next to our house, and almost every weekend they broke windows, which we repaired. So some of them have learned how to repair windows because they are breaking them every weekend. So what I want to discuss with you today are 2 things. One is called motivation. Sorry, let me retract. The first thing I want us to discuss is the income producing activities. Why are we in this business? What is it that we really do? Why does Neolife pay us? Neolife pays us for doing only one thing: getting the products from the warehouse to our customer. That is why Neolife pays us. So if you are not involved in speaking to people who could buy our products, we are just doing busy work. Okay? So if you'd allow me, I want to share the screen. Okay. Yeah, so I want to discuss with you about income producing activities. What is income producing activities? Income producing activities are those things we do to generate income or to generate a customer. You know, the founder of Avis Motors, I think you know Avis worldwide, they let out cars. Well, he asked one of his employees that, what is the purpose of business? He said, oh, the purpose of business is to make money. And the guy said, no, the purpose of business is to create a customer and satisfy their need. That is what business is about. So in our business, the only one main thing we do is to get products from our warehouse to our customer. That customer may be you as a distributor, or that customer may be a family member, or that customer may be a neighbor. So we need to concentrate with all our efforts on getting involved in income producing activities. An income producing activity is a time you spend speaking to a prospect or a customer. And you need to do this every day. And I would recommend very strongly to you is do a time audit. From the time you woke up until the time you slept, ask yourself, how many prospects have you spoken to about our business? How many customers have you spoken to? That's a very simple question that doesn't take you 30 seconds to ask, and then you need to answer that question. If you have not been speaking to prospects, then you're not involved in income producing activities. I also want to suggest that you need to split your income producing activities to speaking to 2 types of people. One is prospects, and number 2 is your customers. Spend 25% speaking to your personal prospects. That is the people you want to sponsor directly under you. Why is that important? Because once you start building a business, some of the people in your team will become directors. And when they become directors, you cannot rely on their volume to qualify as a director. That is why you need to keep sponsoring people yourself. So spend about 25% speaking to your own personal prospect. Spend another 25% speaking to your team's prospects. Why is that important? Because you're teaching the people in your team how to speak to others. Remember that most people who start this business start with little or no experience. So you need to help the people in your group to speak to prospects. You can arrange a 3-way call. You can invite them for presentations. You can do different things to make sure you expose the business to new people. The third aspect of income producing activity is to follow up on prospects. Today I was speaking to a friend of mine, and he was telling me that he spoke to a prospect in February, and only this month in November, is when the prospect has seen the potential of the business and wants to sign up. So you need to follow up and don't give up on any prospect. Some may take 2 days to decide, some may take 2 months, some may take a year, some may actually take 4 years to decide to join the business. As long as you don't give up and as long as you keep their contact with you, right? And the fourth income producing activity you need to get involved in is talk to your customers. Customers are people who are not interested in the business, but are interested in the products because our products are very high quality, all right? But you see, to increase your income producing activity effectively, you need to use the events and tools. For example, one-on-one presentations. One-on-one presentations is when you sit with a person face to face and you explain the business, all right? And then Zoom meetings, for example, Zoom meetings done by your leader or yourself or like the one we have on Monday. These tools are there to make it easy for you to build your business. Because remember that you need to get used to things that duplicate, not what you can do. You see, before I started the business, I was very shy and I would never speak in front of 5 people. But I discovered a passion in public speaking. I love public speaking, so I'm good at it. But the growth of my business doesn't have to depend on how good my distributors are able to speak. The growth of my business should be able to depend on how effectively they can invite prospects to see the business, okay? So you need to be very good at using tools and events that we have in our business. The Zoom meetings, the presentations we have at venues. Okay, with coronavirus now, presentations in venues are reduced. You need to send videos to prospects. I think Neolife has produced very excellent videos. There's a video which is 2 minutes and 38 seconds. That is very, very good. It's because what that video does, it doesn't explain how the business works. It arouses the curiosity of the prospect. And that is what we need to do so that the prospect can ask, okay, I've watched the video, but I don't understand. Can you explain to me? Then you can either explain or invite them to the Zoom meeting. And then webinars, these are an important part of our business building. Business opportunity presentations, magazines, CDs, DVDs. These are the things that support our income producing activities because we want to present our business every day to a new set of eyeballs. If you do that, your business will grow. So always remember, at the end of the day, ask yourself, what are the income producing activities I have done today? I mean, all of you eat every day, I assume. I'll be bold enough to say that it's better not to eat, but at least speak to somebody. If you haven't spoken to somebody, just pick up the phone and call anybody. At least don't let the day end if you haven't exposed our business to a new phase. All right? And then, but you see, for us to be able to get involved in income producing activities, 2 things are very important. One of them is called motivation. The other one is called discipline. And I'd recommend that you need to focus so much on discipline because sometimes our motivation goes down. Life is challenging for all of us. I have never come across anybody that does not have challenges in their lives. If you know one, please tell me, okay? So everybody has challenges, and sometimes we get demotivated. But the thing that will push you through is discipline. What is motivation? Motivation is having a reason for acting in a certain way. That is what motivation is. And it comes from the word motive, which means reason, to find a reason for doing something, okay? So if you want to be motivated, you need to find a reason for doing whatever you are doing. But I want to give you some ideas on how to be motivated all the time. I know it's difficult, but it's not impossible. You can actually develop a lifestyle that you keep motivated all the time. And I think that is what will attract people to your business. Remember, People don't buy into Neolife or the products. They first of all buy into you. If they're convinced about you, they will join the business. If you haven't sold yourself as a person well to your prospects, they may not join the business. Why? Because they ask themselves, do I want to relate with this guy? So think about it. You are the brand that you need to develop so that you attract people to your business. The way you dress, the way you talk, the way you explain things. Are you enthusiastic? Is your voice attractive? Do people sense kindness to you? These are very small things that they make a significant difference. So the following things I think are going to help you to be motivated all the time. Number one, remember that motivation is deeply personal. Nobody can come into your heart, your mind, and your soul to motivate you. Somebody can inspire you, I agree, but nobody can motivate you because motivation is very, very personal. And one of the ways to do this is to have a disciplined personality. Disciplined personality simply means that you follow the schedule that you have prepared for yourself so that you don't allow interference in your activity. That leads me to item number 2. You need to have clearly defined boundaries. Don't allow people to impose their program on you because they see you as a nice person. And one of the things to do is learn to say no. I know sometimes you want to please people by saying yes. Don't say yes if you mean no. And don't say no if you mean yes. Learn to say no. Learn to have clearly defined boundaries on your personal life, on your business life, and on your private life. Okay? You need to guard your family time with discipline. There are some times when you need to spend time with your family. Sometimes you need to spend time alone. Sometimes you need to do business. You need to have very clearly defined boundaries. Number 3, you need to have long-term goals. Why? Because long-term goals ensures motivational permanence. You know, if you read biographies, you will find that people who have got long-term goals are constantly motivated by doing the things they're pursuing. Okay, so have long-term goals. Number 4, you need to develop a positive mental attitude. And this is important because it's very easy to be negative. But being positive takes discipline and takes effort. Because I think 75% of the information you get daily is negative. I was reading some statistics that 77% of all illnesses are psychosomatic, which means they're as a result of our attitude or things that go on in our mind. Okay? So it's very important to develop a positive attitude. How do you do this? Read your goals every day, number 1. Number 2, avoid certain people. Because some people, you need to remember also that misery likes company. Okay, people who complain a lot always want you to accompany them. So develop positive attitude, reading good books, having your self-talk, affirmations, pay attention only to your goals, to your activity, so that you can protect your mind. Number 5, you need to develop deep personal integrity. That simply means let your word be your bond. When you say something, even if it's not written down, do it. That will help you to develop very deep personal integrity. And my experience is that when you do things that bothers your conscience, you will actually notice. You will find yourself restless. You will find that you're actually avoiding some people because what you have done is not congruent with what you say. So develop very deep personal integrity. Number 6, select your friends with care. You know, the other day, Betty was asking me, who are your friends? And actually, I was quite surprised that there are only about 4 or 5 people that I can truly say that my friends, that they open their hearts to me and I can open my heart to them. So select your friends with care because they are going to determine. Show me your friends, I will show you your future. The other exercise you can do before you go to sleep today, write down the list of 5 people you spend most of your time with. Find out how much they earn, divide it by 5, you will find that your income is very close to that average. So if you want to earn more money, change your friends. Start walking around with people who are earning more than you do. Start walking around with people who have demonstrated they're actually leaders and they're serious about life. Okay, so select your friends with care. Number 7, be grateful, not critical. Why is that important? Because people who are grateful about the things they have rarely fall sick. They rarely have bad tempers. Be grateful, not critical. And have a system of rewarding yourself for the things that you have achieved. In our house, when we achieve something small, we reward ourselves with aloe vera. In our fridge, you'll find some cold aloe vera. You know, there's nothing as nice as drinking a glass of cold aloe vera. So learn to reward yourself the small successes that you have had. If you do these simple things, you will find that you're constantly motivated to do the things you need to do. But you see, motivation is not enough. The next thing you need to have is discipline. Discipline is actually the activity you get involved in. Practice, discipline is defined as the practice to follow a code. All right? I know that if you're a teacher, discipline means you're going to spank a student. I'm not talking about that kind of discipline. I'm talking about the idea that you have clearly defined goals of what you want to achieve, that you have a specific plan of action of what you want to do, and then you follow a daily schedule. There is nothing as effective and as powerful as following a daily schedule. Take a diary the night before, write down the things you want to do, the prospects you want to speak to, the customers you want to speak to, and speak to them. You will find that you actually, I was reading this book called Building an Empire, and the author said something that really struck me that I never thought about. A lot of people have attended time management courses. I am sure if you've attended a time management course, just wave. Have you? If you've attended a time management course, just wave. I think that is a misnomer. You cannot manage time. Time flows 24 hours a day, is not slow and is not faster than 24 hours a day. Whether you're busy or sleeping or lazy, time passes by. You actually cannot manage time. What you can manage is the activity that you get involved in during that time. Time is fixed. Time moves, whether you like it or not. Okay? So I think that what we can do is not to manage time, but to manage the activity that we do to achieve our goal. That is what we can do. All right? And how do you do this? Following a schedule. Have a simple schedule, nothing complicated. Today, I want to speak to 6 prospects. Take a pen, write the names down, call them, show them the business, send a video. Once you've done it, it's done. Okay? Don't make it too complicated. And there's something in our business called call reluctance, where you want to call prospects, but you're very reluctant to call them because you think that they're going to say no. They might say no, they might say yes. Okay? And the 4th thing is, please ignore how you feel. I know this sounds very strange, but I have learned over the last few years that we cannot succeed by following the way we feel. An example, Betty normally tells me that if you have to go and jog, the best time to decide to go and jog is when you're at least 3 kilometers from home. Then I know that if you decide not to go and jog, at least you'll have covered 6 kilometers because you're going back home. All right? So don't listen to what your body is telling me. In fact, in the morning when you want to wake up to go and exercise, if your body is feeling tired, your mind starts creating reasons why you shouldn't go, you need to speak to your body and tell it, look, body, this is the last time I'm talking to you. If you don't get up and go on an exercise, I'm going to give you so many sit-ups and press-ups that you're going to start sweating. You need to talk to yourself such that you don't listen to how you feel. Follow a schedule, follow a discipline, follow a program. All right? Number 5 is do not give pain a voice in your journey to your goals. This sounds a very strange statement. What I mean is do not give pain a voice in your journey. It means that in life you're going to experience pain, either pain of self-discipline or pain of regret. You cannot avoid pain. I do not know anybody on this earth who doesn't go through pain, okay? But what I would recommend, learn to manage pain. Learn to put pain in its correct place. And I think the correct place of pain is an indication that there is growth coming. That is what pain is. I'm not talking about pain like somebody has abused you or somebody pain of illness. No. I'm talking about pain of self-discipline, the pain of hearing no's many times, the pain of people telling you this business doesn't work, the pain of calling some prospects who say they'll do something and they don't. You need to don't give a voice to that pain, because pain has got its uses. In fact, one of the business leaders said something that really struck me. He said, pain is weakness escaping from your being. And if you embrace it, you're going to come out stronger. And the last thing is, do things that you dislike daily. If you do things that you dislike daily, that's where discipline and growth comes in. The most disciplined people I know, and they tell you, the things I do daily, I don't like some of them, but I do them because they are the things that lead to success. I have read and listened to Eliud Kipchoge. I have read to listen to somebody, a Navy SEAL called David Goggins. They say exactly the same thing. Pain has a very good use, and that use is, it means that you are growing. It means that you are getting out of your comfort zone so that you grow and become a disciplined person. And in our business, you are going to experience pain. Pain of people saying no, pain of people. I remember when we were building the business and we were traveling a lot with Betty, one of our distributors was in Botswana, and from here to Botswana is about 374 kilometers. We left Pretoria at 6 in the morning. By 9:30, we are at the border. By 10 o'clock, we're in Gaborone. Our distributor did not show up, and we did not do any meeting on that day. So we went, had some coffee, got back into the car, and came back to Pretoria. Was it disappointing? Yes, it was. But that's part of the business. Okay? So you need to embrace pain in your life. Every day do the things that you don't like, because those are the things that will help you become successful. So if you do those simple things, if you learn how to have lifetime goals, if you learn how to discipline yourself, if you learn to have a positive attitude, if you learn to do the things that you don't like every day, if you do these things, you will acquire two things: permanent motivation and self-discipline that will lead you to have a very successful distributorship. So with those few words, I want to hand over back to Paul to close our meeting, and I appreciate all of you very much. I see the regular people in our meetings, the Kingus, the Joshua and Pierros. I see the Florence Okechi Nakuru, Judith Jeru. So I really appreciate you attending our meeting. And I long with all my heart that we would be able to travel to Kenya and build this business, but we want to let the COVID situation settle down before we can travel. So thank you very much and good night.
Thank you so much, Pascal and Betty, for such a wonderful session that you have given us today. I believe that our distributors have been able to benefit in a big way, and we are going to put it into practice so that we can continue to build our business. So I don't want to add a lot because we've been able to hear it from Betty and Pascal. Let's go out there. Let's teach it to our people who have not been able to attend this meeting, and we continue to build our business. So from every corner that you are joining us, I just want to thank you for finding time to be with us today. Betty has told you that our month end is across the corner. It's our first day of the month is the 1st of December. So let's continue to empower people and to share our products and our business with everyone that we are meeting, and not forgetting to continue to remind our distributors to do the things that we have been able to help them to do, and we'll be able to build an amazing business. So together, from me, Betty and Pascal, we'd like to say good night. See you soon. Tomorrow we are going to do our Swahili presentation. So if you are Swahili speaking, use the same link to be able to attend, and also to invite somebody who can be able to speak Swahili. So from me, thank you so much and good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Paul, before you go,
Yes.
I want to encourage all the distributors to get your children and your family to listen in to some of this training. I see Pierrose and her daughter are listening to the training. I remember I was doing a presentation about 3 months ago, and Florence O'Kate was listening, and her daughter happened to be listening to the presentation. And after the meeting, she told her mother, "Mom, I like that law of attraction thing. It makes so much sense to me." So I would strongly encourage you, if your children are around, let them listen in onto the presentation, because I promise you, they are learning something from this presentation, even when you don't realize. And lastly, I appreciate, I see Father Juba there attending our meeting. I am sure he has prayed for the whole team of Neolife. So thank you very much, Father. We really appreciate your presence. Good night.
Thank you, Pascal. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.